On the other hand, there's Donald Trump. He's not without his flaws, and everyone knows that. But the reasons that this thing is even close between the two of them are twofold. Trump's personality, yes, and abortion. I already made clear the abortion thing. That's Friday's show and what I just discussed above. You get it. Do not vote for the presidency based on abortion politics. Let me put it to you this way. Let me sum it up for you this way. When Dobbs was decided in June of 2022, Biden and Harris were in office. They were in the White House. The Democrats controlled the Senate and the House. They had full control. If Dobbs could be effectively overruled by federal legislation, why didn't they do it? Don't you think they would have done it if they could have? They didn't do it. They knew at some level this would be struck down. They don't have those powers. They knew also that they didn't have the votes. They did not get rid of the filibuster. At that point, Joe Manchin was there. Kyrsten Sinema was there, who did not appear too keen on getting rid of minority rights in the Senate. But it didn't happen. And it can happen. It's not going to happen for all the reasons that I've outlined. Don't vote for president based on anything having to do with abortion. This is a states' rights issue now. But the president can do a lot outside of the abortion field. The president has a lot of responsibilities that may and will directly affect your life. Before I get to that, a word on Trump's personality. I know. I get it. Okay, I get it. He can be crass at times. He goes after his enemies with a particular flair, but he is strong in the best sense too. He's strong in his language and he's strong, period. He has to be. Who in modern day America has had more thrown at them than Donald Trump? A vile media that lies about him at every turn, calling him Hitler, a Nazi, a fascist, Goebbels, smearing his family. 4 criminal prosecutions, multiple civil suits that could cost him his business, some courtesy of the Biden-Harris DOJ, which they had go after their chief political rival and then have the nerve to look at all of you and say, he's going to do that to us. I mean, the absolute gall. The phony Russian collusion hoax, they stole his first term with that wild goose chase based on the Clinton campaign's baseless lies. 2 impeachments, assassination attempts, including one that killed a beloved supporter. They call him Hitler on magazine covers and in so-called mainstream news, like it's, a fact, a verifiable fact. They call him a fascist. They call him a sexual predator. They call him a corporate fraudster, a monster. And none of that gets called out as crass or too much. Just Trump's words fighting back. That's the only problem, if you ask the media, that's leading people to believe he is all these things. How can we look at him and fairly say, well, he doesn't sound like all the others. I don't like the way he sounds. He doesn't sound like Mitt Romney. He's not treated like all the others. If he can sometimes come across as crass or cutting, it is truly because he has to be. He is constantly facing the most vicious of attacks possible. He's a New Yorker. He grew up in the cutthroat construction industry, which is bare-knuckled. This is how he fights and how he wins. Yes, for himself and also for us. Haven't we had enough of weak American presidents? From the Barack Obama apology tour to the Joe Biden foreign policy fecklessness to Kamala Harris's empty-headed word salads, we are projecting weakness to all of our adversaries. And weakness is provocative. Just ask Vladimir Putin. We need someone strong to represent us, to fight for us, not someone who reads scripted lines and memorized sound bites and refuses to say anything other than, I'm from a middle-class family and I eat no for breakfast. The same guy who says Adam Schiff is the enemy from within is the guy who had the guts to stand by Brett Kavanaugh when vicious leftists tried to ruin this honorable and decent man. The same guy who has the insult comic show up at the MSG rally is the guy who dismantled all of the DEI programs in the federal government. who restored due process rights for men on college campuses, who passed the anti-sex trafficking law, and who said in one famous debate, I really think we've gotten too politically correct in this country. He's really not into the word policing. Sometimes it leads to a blow up for him, but I think net, the country agrees with him. He's the guy who pushed the leader of Montenegro out of the way when he was standing in front of the U.S. president. He's the guy who bombed Soleimani. He's the guy who threatened the Taliban leader that he knew where he lived, who told the generals, I don't want to hear from you anymore. Bring in the enlisted guys so I can hear from them. He's strong. He's a leader. He's decisive, and he is unafraid. He's a patriot. He loves America, notwithstanding what they tell you. He's funny. He's entertaining. He wants us to laugh with him. He wants us to laugh at him. He doesn't take himself too seriously. Who that did would put on that McDonald's outfit and serve the fries or do the garbage truck thing. But he takes our safety very seriously. He will close the border. He will keep boys out of girls' sports. That can be done with Title IX. He will be tough on crime. He can't handle all of it because crime is generally handled at the local level, but he will rail against the local election of soft on crime DAs and make sure at the federal level that our enforcement priorities are straight. He may get to appoint another Supreme Court justice if a justice retires or, God forbid, dies. And the courts have been the last vestige of fighting the leftist excess, from affirmative action in universities to forced speech among private citizens. All of this is un-American. This court has stood up time and time again for beloved, treasured American principles like non-discrimination, even if the group being discriminated against is white, and Americans' free speech rights, which include no mandated speech. You cannot make me say I support anything, whether it's BLM or someone's pronouns. This court has stricken a blow to the administrative state, the deep state, cutting the power significantly of unelected bureaucrats and so much more. Who's on that high court and the lower federal courts matters a lot. There will be hundreds of appointments coming over the next 4 years. And it's the one area in which a conservative or a Republican's legacy can continue to reign even when he or she's out of office. The economy remains the number one, sometimes two issue for virtually all Americans. Trump's economy was soaring. He did use tariffs that the left is now telling you will tax America to its eyeballs. If they were so bad, why did Biden leave them in place? Trump cut taxes, yes, for the billionaires, but a far greater percentage cut for the lower and the working and the middle classes, far greater percentages cut of their taxes. Joblessness was next to nothing. Inflation was next to nothing. The stock market saw all-time highs. Our 401ks went up. Regulations were cut. Businesses thrived and hired and promoted and gave raises. The economy grew at some 2.5%, greater than under Obama, who's now claiming he's to thank for Trump's great numbers. Trump grew manufacturing jobs by 400,000, a promise kept to the working class men and women forgotten by Obama and his cronies. Median household incomes grew and inequality diminished, according to the Wall Street Journal, which tracked it. And the poverty rate among Black Americans fell below 20% for the first time since World War II. You know, the racist Trump. He made the unemployment rate for Blacks go under 6% for the first time in 50 years. It's a strange way to be a white nationalist. Strange policies, aren't they? The media lies about Trump like nothing we've ever seen before. They've gone all in, and the messaging these past few weeks has been truly disheartening, even for me, who is extremely jaded over their performance to begin with. You can't believe anything they tell you. I mean, we've truly gotten to the point where you can't believe anything they tell you. Barack Obama was out on the stump this weekend repeating the very fine people on both sides lies. He actually tried to peddle that lie. It's been fact-checked by Snopes, a left-wing organization. I mean, just just listen to Trump. Just listen to the original soundbite and you will hear Trump make very, very clear that he didn't say that he was specifically condemning the white nationalists appearing at that Charlottesville rally, but they continue to peddle these lies because they know very few will fact check them. All of this is why I'm going to support Donald Trump tonight and have supported him in this election with my vote, and why I said yes to the invitation. Because what we've gotten is a mountain of lies from these dishonest brokers in the media who go out there and try to claim that they're objective and nonpartisan and spew nonsense about her and him. There's very little fact checking and there are very few honest brokers left. And so the American populace goes to the voting booths tomorrow with one arm tied behind their back. They actually don't know the truth. People I know and love who pay fairly close attention to politics still don't know all of the lies. Smart people, because of course I get it. You're out there living your life. You're not reading news 8 to 10 hours a day. Why should you have to? You're not working tirelessly to fact check these people. There's just a level of feeling overwhelmed. Like I can't, I'm just going to go on gut instinct. But if I can do anything to set the record straight on what we're actually looking at here, I'm going to do it. And I hope that you will not only vote tomorrow, but if you are in one of the critical swing states, you will take 5 friends and get them to the polls. You know how much my family and I love our dogs, right? I can't even imagine life without them. They've got a great life, but some dogs are not so lucky. And that's why I'm so glad to tell you about Delta Rescue. It's the largest no-kill, care-for-life animal sanctuary in the world. They have rescued thousands of dogs, plus cats and horses too. They provide all the animals with shelter, safety, and most of all, love. And they've been doing it for more than 45 years now. Delta Rescue relies solely on contributions, and giving can bring tax benefits too. Speak with your estate planner about how you can grow your estate while helping animals in need. And check out the estate planning tab on their website to learn more. We love our Thunder and Strudwick, but would like for other dogs who need love to find it too. Visit deltarescue.org today to learn more. That's deltarescue.org. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.